Yeah, Fred Van Fleet is going to end up making about 55 to 60 million a year to stay with the Rockets. I'm saying that because since Fred Van Fleet's been out with his ankle injury, the Rockets seem to have forgotten how to win games. Oh, we get to see highlights and all that stuff, but it's not transit. It's not transitioning into wins. Like they went from the number two seed, they're the number three seed, but it looked like they might drop down, end up dropping down to the six or seven seed. Something's going on. At first, I was like, well, the trade deadline is getting to the younger players, and I think it is. And but that's part of the business. Everybody's dealing with that because if Luka Doncic can get traded, anybody can get traded outside of LeBron James or Bradley Beal, who got that no trade clause. You know what I'm saying? And we heard Kevin Durant rumors about him being traded, but he wasn't traded. But that's gonna bother anybody, and yeah, it's just we're getting all these highlights. Like we're supposed to be a defensive team, but right now, ever since Fred Van Fleet been out, defense hasn't been our calling card. The Rockets, they are losing their identity. And in most things in life, you have to find the reset button or the refresher button to regain your identity. Don't forget your purpose, whatever it is in life. And the Rockets right now, they have forgotten that. I don't know what they're gonna do. Don't know what's gonna happen, but and another thing is the hype factor. Now that a lot of people, more analysts are buying into the hype of the Rockets and stuff. The Rockets, they're feeling themselves. That's what they're doing. They do this throughout the year. Whenever they get hyped up and people, respect the expectations that should be placed upon them, they, what's the word I'm looking for? They overlook their opponents, thinking their opponents are going to be intimidated by the expectations that other networks have on them, and nobody is intimidated. Nobody's afraid of the Rockets. You have to go out there and beat people. Okay, yeah, the Rockets. We got some dogs. We got some players that'll scrap, that'll fight. But yeah, we're not the only team who has that. That's not striking fear in Anthony Edwards. That's not striking fear in LeBron James or Luka or Anthony Davis or Kyrie Irving or SGA or anybody. The Rockets don't strike fear in anyone. So the thing about it is, but that's the thing. You don't have to always strike fear. Just strike that winning fear. That fear that yeah, we gonna beat y'all ass. Basketball wise, not fighting. Like, come on now. That's not what this is all about. That's not what this is all about. But it's it. But they're right now they're playing like a young team. But the silver lining of it is that we got Tyree Eason is back. He's getting more minutes. Reed Shepard is getting minutes. Okay, because by and it's one of those things. It's like, you know what? I mean, we need Reed Shepard. I'm not saying reach his full star potential by playoff time, but we need his confidence up because we're gonna need his shooting. And he doesn't help the Rockets if he's sitting on the bench. You got this sniper on the bench. No, you're gonna need him. You're gonna need him. Steven Adams been out too. That's a that's a big piece for this Rockets team. We saw when Steven Adams was with the Memphis Grizzlies when he was out. Oh man, there was a big difference. Those screens just wasn't hitting the same if Adams wasn't there. Those screens for Ja Morant and Jabari Smith Jr. His value has increased. 6'10", 6'11", two-way player. He can defend any position. Okay, his length. I mean, he can shoot. He can. It's certain shots he can get off that others can't get. So, this is. We're wading in the water right now. We got to weather the storm. If they drop down to the fifth or sixth, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine because once they get Van Fleet, Adams, and Jabari Smith back, and Reed Shepard is continue to develop and build his confidence, I think this Rockets team is going to be just fine. All right. Man, can't wait for that All-Star break to come. Can't wait for that. But this is still Rockets in six. No matter who they face, it's gonna be Rockets in six. But like this game, the game against Minnesota, it was a close game all the way up to like about the final about 3 minutes. That's when the Timberwolves pulled away. That's when Anthony Edwards did Anthony Edwards type things. So we just can only hope that that Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, Cam Whitmore, that Reed Shepard, that those guys can develop into that. But the Rockets, they got to find an identity, reestablish the identity. Who's going to take the last shot? I forgot which game it was where Van Fleet took the last shot against Memphis. Yeah, the Rockets down by one, but he jacked up a highly contested three-pointer. You could have given the ball to Jalen Green, but at the same time, it didn't look like Jalen Green was aggressively trying to get open. So we're going to need him to get open more. So, but anyways, that's all my thoughts I have on that. Remember, you like movies, you like sports, that means you like me. All right, thank you for tuning in to another edition of Student of the Game podcast on our Rockets in 6 segment. All right, hit the like and subscribe button. Student of the Game podcast. Peace out.